Welcome Psych 310 students. This is my week 9 commentary as we are soon to be approaching the spring break week. That's coming up next week. This week is a steady on week in that we are continuing our study of psychoanalytic theory and the role of the unconscious in personality. One of the important takeaways for this course is to realize that contemporary psychoanalysis is not the same as Freudian psychology by any means. Freud, we will call, began professionally making a difference at the end of the 19th century, early 20th century. Since then, his students and generations that came after them have continued to change and challenge many of the tenets of Freud's initial theory. So the takeaway this week is there are Freudians, there are neo-Freudians, meaning the students of Freud, and then there are contemporary psychoanalytic thinkers. And for this last generation, you need to be introduced to ego psychology. It's of great interest that we are now in the 21st century in a time of widespread interest in narcissism, and the understanding of narcissism presupposes an accurate understanding of ego. Ego is certainly not simply pride, and it's not limited to the conscious functions of one's mind. So open your minds and hopefully persist until you have an appreciation of these 3 generations of psychoanalytic thinkers. Needless to say, as has always been the case, Freud emerged in a clinical context in a different historical time, and now we're looking at psychoanalytic theory from the point of a more rigorous standard of research and evaluation. So there are nuances here in Funder's view of psychoanalytic thinking, and yet I think he is keenly aware of the limitations of an empirical approach, especially as it addresses unconscious forces within one's personality. So it's a good area. It's not an easy area to learn the terrain or the geography of these thinkers and clinical practitioners. All right, in terms of course housekeeping, we now in week 10 or 9 have 6 in front of us for the semester, not counting next week's spring break, so that I will increasingly be asking you to focus with me on our collective achievement of good endings at the end of the semester. To that end, I would ask you to begin making plans for your oral presentation assignment. The most obvious opportunity is in the workshop number 3. And if students are going to organize alternative peer groups, now is the time to begin that discussion and organizational work. So please begin being a part of the discussion in Dr. K's office so that we can make sure that every student has a peer group and successfully completes that oral presentation. Needless to say, if you have questions about it, please call me or email me if you must. Email is not great for discussion, but it's a start. And just as an FYI for next week, I will be traveling out of state, but I will be online and certainly accessible through Google Hangouts and things like that. All right, I'll keep this short and sweet and look forward to your participation on the discussion board this week and hopefully even during the spring break. Thanks for your attention.